That was one of the greatest finals games I've ever seen in my life. Even if the Warriors don't win this series, Steph and Klay Thompson, hearts of just champions. That game was just, and I'm sorry, Chris, man. You're one of the great Raptors fans out there. You have a chance to still win the series, but even if Golden State doesn't win this series, that game was such a classic. That was one of my favorite games that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the fact is about Golden State is that Kawhi Leonard basically had that game. You know, that stretch right there was so freaking badass there. Golden State down by six. The series looked absolutely over. 99% of people would have just packed it up and left. Kevin Durant left the arena. Instead, we get a Steph Curry 3, a Klay Thompson hit, and I mean, I'm trying to go back in my head, I can't even remember how I just blacked out. I can't even remember how Golden State took the lead. I mean, they were down by 6, I thought, and Klay Thompson hit the absolute dagger there. I mean, Golden State the Splash Brothers made their legacy there. And Kyle Lowry had a three-pointer. The Raptors were up by, I'll tell you what, the Raptors were up by 3. Lowry had a wide open corner 3. That could have been the game. And it was outstanding. People hate Golden State. I love and respect the Warriors. I do. I'm so happy we get more basketball. That game was just, it was a treat. It was a treat to watch. We have more basketball now. I can't believe that the Warriors won that game. I can't, when Kawhi Leonard, that performance there, those 2 minutes, I said that this guy's one of the greatest players I've ever watched, and he still is one of the greatest players that I've watched in my life. I mean, he put the game on his back and said, F this. He said, F this, man. And Kawhi Leonard is that special. And Chris, I still think you're probably going to win it at Oracle. You just need Danny Green. You need more role guys to play better. But Kyle Lowry with a turnover, the backcourt, Golden State almost blew the game themselves. That backcourt situation was ridiculous on Golden State. You know, Draymond Green had the basketball and it was a backcourt. Then, you know, Boogie Cousins, that 15 seconds. Usually they say 15 seconds takes an eternity. Those 15 seconds, I couldn't believe that the buzzer was sounding and the game was over. I could not believe it. It looked like it was 5 seconds. And Kyle Lowry had a chance for the win. It was a 3-point game. He had a wide open 3-pointer. It's not the end of the game. The end of the game's a hard shot. End of the game, he was practically fading away from 3. I don't expect anyone to make that shot. But the backcourt was terrible, and then he had a 3-pointer to also win the game. Kawhi Leonard is just the most badass human being that I've seen. He's going to be on NBA Mount Rushmore. He's like a Kobe Bryant. He's that freaking amazing. I mean, the fact that the Warriors survived this Kawhi game, the Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, that was some of the most special shit I've ever seen in my life. Because the thing is about Golden State is that they should have been dead. And I could not believe that Golden State won that game. I can't believe Steph and Klay hit those shots. Clutchest shots I've ever seen. Heart of a champion. They're down 3-1. You know, the Raptors have come back. The Raptors have overtaken them. It's a 6-point game. 2 minutes and a half to go. The Raptors are on like a 14-0 run. And the Warriors come freaking back. MH, you're absolutely right. You could get on Mark Stevens all you freaking want. But, you know, cheering that Kevin Durant injury is absolute horseshit. That's bullshit of the highest magnitude. I hate those people that are clapping at a man's livelihood, that are clapping when a guy tears up his leg. You think Kevin Durant would do that to those people? It absolutely made me like the Warriors even more than I already did, and I love the Golden State Warriors. Now, the thing is, that doesn't represent all Toronto fans, so don't go around saying, oh, you know, Canada's a bunch of assholes. Canada's a bunch of pricks. It's not all the Canadians. There's a bunch of fans that are good people. That was just a bad mistake by Toronto. And those fans aren't going to get fined or anything. And I think it might have been karma, absolute karma. That doesn't mean that the rest of the fan base sucks. That doesn't mean that the rest of the fan base sucks. It was just a horrible act. Horrible act, man. And never do that. But Bob, what a freaking game. I'm going to go back right now. I'm going to watch. I wish you guys could see this, but I don't want to get this video flagged. Golden State, the Splash Brothers are the clutchest athletes I've ever seen in my life. Even if Golden State doesn't win that finals, for them to win that game, that's one of the greatest accomplishments of their career. On the road, the entire Canada staring down at them, for them to just shock the world. I thought Toronto was winning, like 99% sure. So I'm going back. I'm going to watch the game right here. And actually, guys, spoiler alert, my dad has not watched the end of the game. Hey. Do you want to watch the end of the game live on YouTube? Live on YouTube, we'll film your reaction.
Yes, sure.
Let's do it. Let's go back and relive it. So I'm here. We got Bruce the Sports Doc here, and we're going to go back and he actually, can I tell him that you actually fell a little bit asleep?
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, it was a long
All
day
right,
for
so
me.
what is it? So Toronto, let me see this right here. So they are, by the way, that goaltending call was absolutely crazy. Chris Senior, one of my good friends, is a Raptors fan. So it's a 6-point game, all right? I'll just put it here. You're going to have to see the Kawhi Leonard outburst too, but I'll show that to you after this video. So it's 6-point game.
3 minutes left.
So you think that, and by the way, Toronto has gone on like a 14-0 run. You think this game's over right now, don't you?
I do, and usually...
So it's an air ball by Kawhi, really good defense. Watch what happens here. Let's see, 2 minutes to go in this game. You think that this game's over, right?
Looks like it.
How are the Warriors going to pull this one out, right?
Look.
Right? I just about said it was over. Wait, are they going to miss this? No, Klay Thompson.
Klay.
Big three.
Money.
Big three. 100 to 103 to 100. 225 left in the game. Noah Cahill, what's going on? We got a lot of people rolling in here for this reaction. We're watching it back. Kyle Lowry, 2 minutes and 18 to go. This is the shot that would have won the finals right here. This is the shot right there. Wide open shot. He misses it. 2:09.
That would have won.
Kyle Lowry had the finals right there. 2 minutes and 11 seconds left. If they come back to lose that final, this is the shot that would have won the series.
Wide open. And it's a close shot. Just needs to just
short.
over the rim, but it's short.
Well, watch this. It's a 3-point ball game. Let's see what happens here. So, by the way,
is that Boogie with
by
the
the
jam?
way, Boogie Cousins jam. Let's see the replay. 1:59 to go. Boogie Cousins with a slam. Let's see if it was off the cylinder. You think it's off the cylinder?
I think it's legit. Did they call it offensive goaltending?
No.
Let's see. Watch this. No, I think that's legit. The replay looks good. Did it count?
It did not count.
Did not count. It was offensive goaltending.
How about that Kawhi travel too? With the Norman Powell slam. But basically, slam dunk does not count. 103 to 100. Does not count. Well, I'm trying to figure out what happens in this game. So here we go.
2 minutes left.
2 minutes left. 3-point lead for the Raptors. This is the series. This is the possession. This is also one that would have ended the series. You should have thrown it in the Gasol against Boogie Cousins. Kyle Lowry.
Throws it.
Kyle Lowry with a choke. An all-time epic choke. Warriors get the ball. Watch this right here.
We're watching.
You're watching. You haven't seen this yet. You passed
Right.
out.
I was out. I was narcotized. Curry. Money. Ice money. Tie game now.
Oh, man.
Things are getting a little tight here for those Raptors. Short arms.
That would have been the shot. That Kawhi 3 would have been a shot.
Minute left. Things are looking tight. Clay Mignon. Money.
How How amazing was that? A 9-0 run in a minute from the Splash Brothers. How amazing was that? Was that incredible?
It was incredible. Now it's timeout. Let's see. Let's bring it back.
All right, let's bring it back now. So Klay hit 2 threes there. That was kind of a bad call, but you're not going to believe what happens right here.
Is it over and back? Look at that. Oh, my God.
Over and back on Draymond. Raptors get the ball back.
They need 3 to tie.
Goaltend. 29 seconds left. So now the Warriors, it's a 1-point game. Golden State with the basketball. Golden State with the ball. 1 point. They're winning by 1. And this is what the Golden State Warriors do. This is what the world champions do. They get another turnover.
Oh, my God.
An offensive foul.
So all Toronto needs to do is score a bucket.
And they're
over.
the finals
and they're
champions.
The world champions.
And they also were winning by 6. Kind of a good call. Draymond, Boogie hates it. Here's what I'm watching this. I got to watch what happens here.
8 seconds. Kawhi's got it. The claw. Freddie. Not even close.
That was just an incredible, incredible basketball game, guys. I mean, the Golden State Warriors, that 9-0 run when you're down by 6, that doesn't happen. That was stuff of legends, Troy. The Splash Brothers tonight reigned supreme upon the world. It was absolutely incredible. It was amazing. Might need a haircut, I do indeed, but that was absolutely unbelievable. That was one of the greatest sports performances because 6-point game, Kevin Durant goes down. Oh my God. Oh my God. And Steph Curry gets to win it in Toronto. In Toronto's face, Steph Curry. The guy is just, he's a ridiculous player, man. I mean, that was just, what Klay and Steph did tonight, I just love those guys. And that was just an amazing, amazing performance. I thought Golden State I thought they were done for good. Done for good. I'm going to be doing a call-in maybe in a couple of days, but when's the next game? On Thursday night? At Thursday and Sunday, it's going to be the finals. Amazing stuff. I thought Golden State was done. Boogie Cousins was terrible tonight. He couldn't be depended on. I mean, he was just atrocious. Other thoughts about this game, Kawhi Leonard, ridiculous in the final moments. He is the closer, Kawhi Leonard. He is the closer. And I don't know why you want the Raptors to win. I mean, I guess you can hate on Golden State, but KD is gone. So, okay. But the fact is tonight is that the Warriors, still played really well. Steph and Klay barely could win that game. And the Warriors bench is terrible. Quinn Cook has his fair share of horrible plays. The Raptors are the better team. These two guys tonight dug so deep to win that game. I mean, the way that they played in those final 2 minutes, I'll never forget that. That was so amazing. That was the Splash Brothers at their best, shutting the world up. And I can't believe that there's going to be another game. I thought that the Raptors were going to win the title. And Kawhi Leonard, his greatness shouldn't be taken away because of that Splash Brothers onset. I mean, he didn't choke at all. He had 1 3-pointer and another one that was a little bit short. The fact is with Kawhi Leonard, he still put the team on his back. He propelled them, and he should have won the game in flying colors. Instead, Toronto made some boneheaded mistakes, and the Splash Brothers just came out of nowhere and stole the game. The Warriors absolutely stole that game. It was ridiculous. And, dude, you still have Thursday night to win the series, but, yeah. And the fact is with Kevin Durant, I mean, this might affect his value. I give him credit for coming back. I give KD credit for coming back. KD gets hurt. If KD's there, this is one of the great teams ever. I still think Steph and Klay might have beaten the Cavs in 2016 with Draymond Green. This Warriors team just has the championship DNA. Like when the going gets tough, The going gets tough. This team's at its best, like Tom Brady, like any other team, and that's what is so good. That's what is so good about this team, and it's a great time for basketball. The Raptors and this Warriors, it's a classic series. We get to see more basketball games. These Raptors, they just defend you like crazy. Serge Ibaka tonight, Serge Ibaka was out of this world unbelievable. I mean, he blocks every shot. He makes every single dunk. He is playing the best basketball of his life. Danny Green's playing incredible defense. Fred VanVleet. This Raptors team is worthy of a champion, and I think that Toronto still in Game 6 will probably win the series. But the fact is, this is so special for Golden State. And I kind of loved Golden State and the Splash Brothers, and this game just gave me such life. And the fact is, I mean, it was so nerve-wracking. You didn't even have to be a fan of these teams. And Alex, you got to be grateful for having Steph and Klay. And your team, the Golden State Warriors, they represent in a first-class manner. Steve Kerr, Mike Brown, all these guys. Classiest guys. So, you know what, Alex from NorCal, this Golden State team is so special. And, you know, people shit on your fans all the time. They shit on Golden State fans. They act like they're bandwagon fans, that they are a-holes, that they are just bandwagon riders because of Kevin Durant and Golden State. It's not that way at all. Because the Bay Area was popping even with Don Nelson, even with Baron Davis, even with Eric Dampier, and even with, what is his name? Beadrins. Warriors have always had good fans. And Klay Thompson, or Klay, Steph, this is just a legendary pack of players. And you got to give it up for them. It's freaking ridiculous tonight that the Warriors were able to win that game. And I can't get over it. Toronto had that game. Kawhi Leonard, that was some of the most epic shit I've ever seen. What, did he go on a 12-0 run? Did he go on a 12-0 run? And MH, I appreciate the kind words. Did Kawhi Leonard there in the fourth quarter go on a 12-0 run? He's limping up the floor. And Kyle Lowry missed three, the turnover, a Kawhi air ball, lots of mistakes down the stretch. Nick Nurse needed to settle him down, absolutely. Get 2-pointers, and that last play, too, was a disgrace. You got to go to the rim, maybe Marc Gasol. So that was crazy, man, crazy. Thank you, MH, but I appreciate it. This game was elite. The Splash Brothers coming out of nowhere and winning the game. Only people who hate on Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, they're jealous people. Jealous, and they have, whatever. They have stuff going on. You got to appreciate how special that was. You don't have to like it, but they are the best. They are the best. Great D on that last series, too. No, was Chuck on the stream with the entertainer? What happened with the Sports Fury, too? Did the Sports Fury get cut out? Why would they get cut out? Oh. But it's a player-friendly organization, and they were smart to keep him out most of the time. And you know what? He was balling earlier. It's a freak injury, I don't want to see Durant. I don't want to see Durant hurt the rest of the damn fine. I don't want to see him hurt next year. Durant's too good of a guy. I was talking with people about Kevin Durant, and Durant, he really needs a wife and he needs kids. He has too much free time. I go on social media, it's a place full of trolls. He's got to get the hell out of there, and he's got to get a wife and kids and start being a father and everything and stop worrying about bullshit. And if Kevin wants to stay in Golden State, so be it. But he's got to stop paying attention to idiot fans like myself or people that complain. Yeah, Kevin Durant, he just needs to just do him and be him and just stay off of social media and stuff. So I think that Kevin Durant is a good guy. No, I think everybody hates on KD like it's his job to keep the NBA there. Like it's his job. What's up, Die Hard? Everybody thinks KD's job is to keep the NBA competitive, So he might be right. Yeah, I mean, some guys can have a little bit of fun on there. Burton, what's going on, man? Thank you for coming into the stream. This was such a fun game to do a live stream. I thought that Toronto was just going to win this chip. Now we get game 6. Now Toronto has some pressure, but that was an all-time game. You know what game that reminded me of? Klay Thompson at Oklahoma City. Ironically, Kevin Durant on the other side, where the Thunder were ready to win a championship, and Klay Thompson took it away from them. Outstanding stuff. That Cavaliers game, and it's up to Toronto. Because the 2016 Golden State Warriors, like people, again, I really do love the Golden State Warriors. People act like that LeBron James team, like the Golden State Warriors, and I like the Warriors a lot. People act like that 2016 Warriors team was one of the best teams ever. Oklahoma City should have beat them. And in Game 6, after the Warriors lost at home in Game 5, after the Warriors lost at home in Game 5, the Cavaliers smacked the shit out of Golden State in Game 6. And if Toronto goes to Oracle and gets hammered, that'll be a terrible look for the Toronto Raptors. I think that this Toronto team is mature enough to win a championship. And they're mature enough to go in the Oracle and win this championship. It's a great test for the Toronto Raptors. But will the Warriors smack them at home? Because the Raptors... many teams would not show up to play in Oracle for Game 6. They'll still be pissed. They'll still look back at this game, Kyle Lowry included. Maybe Kyle will look back and say, man, I'm a choker, and he'll just be depressed, and this game will go to a Game 7, and they'll not show up. It's up to Toronto. It's up to Toronto to win. What did Kawhi still have? 26 points, and he's hobbling? I don't think it was average at all. Those 2 minutes, like you uttered, he scored like 12 points in 2 minutes. He single-handedly took the game over. He was like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm taking this mofo over. Kawhi Leonard's like, Game 6, screw that. And the fact is with Kawhi Leonard, he was like, F this game. I'm taking this one home. That's what the great closers do. That's what a killer instinct is all about in sports. That's what Kawhi Leonard did. And it was absolutely absurd. So, and then Golden State just dug out of nowhere. You know, Steph finally came up with those screens hard. He ignored Van Leet, and Freddie Van Leet is one of the great defenders in basketball, Kyle Lowry. This Toronto team is assembled. It's an absolute juggernaut. It's an absolute juggernaut, this Toronto team. And MH, I really appreciate that. I really do appreciate the commentary there. But Steph Curry needs to drive inside. Draymond needs to keep hitting threes. Iguodala's offense at times was really bad, but he gives you great defense. Quinn Cook made a play. Jordan Bell made a play to just keep this thing alive. If you're Toronto, you need Marc Gasol inside. You need guys to keep driving. You can't just worry about Kawhi Leonard, taking it. You got to play team basketball. Siakam needs to be really aggressive, get to the foul line more, and you guys can lock down Steph Curry. You guys are going to lock down Steph Curry. Very inspiring stuff. And Philip Burton's in the house too. So the fact is about, what's his name? Klay Thompson, one of the most underrated players ever. He's a great shooter, not a great ball handler, but he can create a little bit and he can make plays, and he's just a clutch winner, man. He has that DNA in him. He's just smart. The clutchest players in sports are always smart, if you watch that. They're LeBron James, Steph, Klay, Kawhi Leonard. They, killer instincts are special, and you saw tonight's game was a special finals game. I think Game 4 was a decent basketball game. Game 2 was very good. The Warriors, Steph Curry needs to drive inside, and he needs to kick open to the shooters. He needs to drive. If they don't get him, he needs to take those floaters all day long. Steph Curry needs to drive. He can't let Freddie just dictate him. The Warriors need to get into the teeth of the defense a little bit. Boogie Cousins is okay. He did fine tonight. Gave him a little bit of a lift. Still, this game was one of the more epic games I've ever seen. Raptors win in 6. this game might be forgotten. If the Warriors come back, if the Raptors win in 7 even, this game will probably be forgotten. If Golden State wins this series, it'll go back as one of the great games ever. I'll always remember it, though. When you think of the Splash Brothers, think of Game 6 in Oklahoma City, think of this game. So, oh my goodness gracious. So cool. MH, my favorite rapper of all time, maybe Biggie, maybe Jay-Z, some New York guys. Old Kanye, like College Dropout, was really good. Stuff like that. So even Scarface out of Houston's a good rapper. My favorite Toronto Raptor, it's probably got to be Air Canada Vince Carter, the OG of Toronto basketball. Who else was a guy that was on Toronto back in the day? Like Mo Pete, I think, was a lefty on that team. Could stroke those three-pointers. Chris Bosh was a really good Toronto Raptor. So that's a good question. But man, oh man, and boy, they quit. Guess what? Vince Carter could still go to Golden State next year. But now for Kevin Durant, I think Kevin's done. There's too much drama in Golden State. I think he's totally out. So Afghanistan, bro, how you doing? Thanks for coming over here. I appreciate you hopping in, man. I just did a little video. Hope you go back and enjoy it, man. I'm gonna bounce. What a fun game. Pure adrenaline live stream. Jacked up, man. We have more basketball at Oracle, more NBA basketball, man.